welcome back to our segment. Today we're exploring the realm of minimalist art here at MAMA, the Modern Art Museum of Atlanta. My name is Dr. Frida Vanderwinkle, PhD in art history from the South, darling, and I'm here to explore Home is Where the MAMA is, which extends from the museum and beyond. Today I'm joined by my contemporaries, Dr. Lisa von Stupenheim. Hello, Lisa. Thank you for being with us today. John Doe. Oh, Jonathan, so glad to have you in our midst. And, of course, the artist herself, Jean Kant. I thank you, Jean. Now let's go in and get a closer look at the works.
So here we are in the artist's home and studio, looking at a piece called Linear Borders. Now this is an arrangement of two paintings, and rather appropriately named, if I may say so, because of the two linear wooden borders around each canvas. It focuses mostly on the expanse of the black color, with only slight details that divert our attention away from the vast expanse of the nothingness, really. The nothingness holds the key to this painting's meaning, because everything else here has been stripped away.
Exactly. I think what you said is really spot on in terms of interpreting this painting. The painting really is about the nothingness. Now, if I may go on a tangent, the minimalist frame of mind strips an artwork of anything unnecessary to convey a point. And this piece really accomplishes that. There's almost nothing to anchor us from falling into the nothingness, from letting our eyes go and losing them into this black hole. A black hole that's sectioned off for us like maybe a piece of nature or an entire phenomenon brought in front of us.
Right. And not only that, but a black hole that is prevalent in our everyday lives. You know, how much time do we as a society now spend in front of a television or computer screen? That's exactly what the artist is trying to get at, because these rectangular screens that technology has given us, they really do suck our eyes into an abyss, a black hole, if you will.
Yes, that's a good point. And it is incredible how much time that we lose looking at these empty rectangles. It is such a waste of time looking at rectangles filled with nothing. And what I mean is there's nothing tangible behind a computer screen, you know? And art is all about tangible, so what is there left, really?
And where do you go from when there's nothing tangible?
You know, the black might also be interpreted as a negative force in the world. Or it might mean to say, what else is out there other than negativity? Or maybe we're just alone in the world.
Right. You mean because there is so much communication nowadays online, and over cell phones and what's it called? Facebook. You know, because there's so much interweb chatting and video blogging and face tweeting. Exactly. This is definitely a message against technology and its absurd prominent place in our society.
I was suggesting another interpretation. Perhaps this artist was making a statement regarding a different aspect of society. Maybe the darkness and desolation and abandonment, or the darkness in our hearts.
I don't think I follow what you're saying. After all, whose heart is linear? I don't think what you said would be a valid interpretation at all, considering there's nothing in the painting itself that leads to such a conclusion.
Well, then perhaps there's something else in the painting. Well, now let's remember that we are lucky enough with us today to have the artist of this great masterpiece. So tell us, Jean, how do you feel about being the innovative mind behind such an innovative work?
Well, actually, I think that particular question calls for some explanation. You see, there's a piece in the Guggenheim in Bilbao called Borderline, which inspired me to create my Linear Borders. The work I saw in Spain was also two canvases, both black, but side by side, and without frames. Now that artist, named Frank Serra, is truly one of my greatest influences, and I wanted to pay homage to Serra by creating a piece that, like his, pushes the definition of art to the borderline, while putting my own spin on it. I think pushing art like that is brilliant.
Oh, indeed. And you've done a marvelous job at it at that, darling. Pushing art to the borderline is exactly what art is really about. And to combine these two symbols of technology with art is just brilliant. Brilliant. I couldn't agree more with what you just said.
And what is this
pleasure here, if I may.
My living room?
Oh, nice title.
I don't really think this is art.
This is textbook minimalism. This chair, it's so simplistic and basic, and in this casual and yet sophisticated living room, it creates a nice balance. This is true, and you see, what I love about minimalism is that the artists are always working on it. I mean, when Jean just nudged that chair just now, it shows you that art is a living, breathing thing, always in progress. And that what may apply now, or even 10 years from now, is not the same as what will apply in 15 or 20. And when I see an artist like Jean just looking to the future and making her exhibit strong for generations to come, it just warms my little blessed heart.
I agree wholeheartedly, again, like I said, because now that this chair's been moved, it creates a different sort of discomfort, a tension, something's not quite right or off balance, and with all of these clashes in the world, and I think this blatant violation of feng shui really just emphasizes that for us.
And you see, there's a conservative aspect to the chair, yet it's also here to party. I mean, the chair, it's strong, and it's serene, and it's been here for years, and it will be for more, and yet the fact that it can be sat on, or it can have feet put on it, it shows that it's really here to service us, and to help us grow as people.
Isn't that what art is all about? I mean, okay, it's not just to service people, but it's to stay there for generations and generations and change. Like, this art is changing in front of our eyes, and it's changing through interaction with people. And I think it's really symbolic that such a sturdy symbol of not torture, but the battering that this chair went through, all the struggle in life, and its interaction with humans tells us that humans have to go through struggle in life.
So what you're saying, Lisa, is that this chair represents humanity and humanity's need to grow and to learn and to also just get to know one another and sit and watch the beautiful aspects of life just flutter by.
It's a chair!
It's such a beautiful piece of art.
Hallelujah there, Lisa. I mean, that was really just touching.
Like a besotted salmon.
Oh, like a besotted salmon, but more so, perhaps a lackadaisical lion, or a
pernicious porcupine.
Or a smelly salamander. I mean, this chair, not only is the alliteration a very important part of this chair, because what is alliteration if not a form of poetry, which this chair most certainly is, but it shows a certain animalistic tendency to it. I mean, the porcupine with its sharp needles, and the lion, while lazy, is also the king of the forest, and even the salamander, I mean, so slimy and slippery, but still a part of our delicate food chain.
And I think it's very important to remember that Jean picked these animals to accompany the chair on its journey. I think it's very, very significant.
I did?
Oh, Jean, no need to be modest here. I mean, this room, it's stunning. It makes me almost go faint and flutter as I look around it at the pillows and the lamps and your humble existence in it. I mean, look at Lisa. Lisa is so serene in that chair, and yet she's waiting. She's waiting for whatever life brings her next.
I'm waiting for art to change. This art has not changed for a good 2 minutes.
This art?
This art indeed.
You know, I must be honest with you here, Miss Kate. I once thought of you as a brave, wonderful woman for doing this, and when I saw you kick that chair, it was like Buddha was shining before me in all of his splendor, but yet, when I see you now, it's just not the same. I mean, I expected a little bit more out of you. I mean, it's such a beautiful exhibit, but what have you been doing? I mean, you could have helped us in our discussion. Lisa and I, you know.
But I disagree with you.
But
this is not art. It is my living room.